Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to another episodic series thing of Marvel Heroes. I almost said Knights of the Republic because I just finished that, where we are now going to show off some of the new things that I've gotten, as well as it is Halloween time. Doom is not dressed for the occasion, and we're going to go from there. So, what is new in Marvel Heroes at this time? Let me show you. News, everyone! Blade has just been released, just in time for Halloween. As well as there's a symbiotic Wolverine outfit. But there's a few other things that have come out. One for a limited time. They just released a couple characters here. Let's see. Let's go to Team Up. And, yeah, we'll show that in here. But they gave out a generic S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. I don't know if I went out like that. He's like a worse version of Coulson. But he's not exactly worse. It's like a version of Coulson that's just not quite as good as Coulson. So... But there's a new team up. I'm going to thank Honky Kong for this, as I got Franken-Castle. You can get a Punisher team up. That is a bit much. As we all know, Punisher's freaking awesome. So, who would I want to use for a Halloween special type as this? Ghost Rider. I didn't think about Ghost Rider would have been a really good pick for this, but I don't have him unlocked. It's somebody that I've had unlocked, been meaning to do. And I'm doing this trying to roll with Avengers themed stuff as much as possible. So we're going to do Scarlet Witch. So let me pull her out. Let's get Scarlet Witch in here. Also, Doom has a very big fetish thing for Scarlet Witch. There she is.
Do it alone, huh?
Wolverine, you go away. The only stipulation for this LP was that... I use Franken-Castle with the Scarlet Witch. So let's do that. Let's call him out.
Allies, you must come swiftly.
Oh, he's carrying his M60
I
already.
need you here now.
Hey, Frank.
Are you trying to let the
I
enemy
mean,
win?
this is just going to be stupid. Let's take a look at Franken-Castle first here. Let's see what he's got. And I need to put some things on him. Physical damage buff. That's always good. Base damage. Critical damage. Oh, that one's a really good one. Yeah, let's put that on. This one's critical hit chance, base damage. Yeah, we'll put that on. That one is not as much base damage. Nah, what I got on's better. And I have one of these. Special item find, yes. Alright, so he's on infinite duration. Okay, let's go over powers. We can get the buckshot blast. 12-gauge shotgun. The RPG, which is a good thing. Didn't get missile strike. This. Oh, jeez. Okay. Franken-Castle assists you from afar by dropping a van-mounted javelin missile on your enemies. Okay, so that's an away thing. That's kind of freaking cool. And has an activation on hit. Oh, that's pretty good. Flesh it rounds. Gives chance for buckshot to cause bleed. Grenade launcher. An anti-personal chemical grenade into the fray. That's kind of cool. And then the toxic grenades give it a buff to where it can then do damage over time. Then you can use a sniper rifle. And then there's also sniper support. Franken-Castle watches out for you through the scope of a sniper rifle, picking off targets. And then you can get his flamethrower. Yeah, meh. And of course, he can get the Davy Crockett, which this makes him all the more awesome. So, we're going to use Franken-Castle now. I need to remove her equipment. As you can see, I've played with her a good bit. Why can't I take this off? Well, it'll take it off anyways. I'm going to leave on the potted Groot, because that gives me +2 to energy, which does help her out with mental damage. That's all mainly what she uses is mental, so that's a good thing. Let's go over her powers. Oh, that's a low level one. Okay.
Hush, Hawkeye. This is serious.
So, she has 3 skill trees. Decimation, Negation, and Disruption. Hawkeye, you're freaking me out over there. Cut it out. Your basic attack is a Hex Bolt. Conjure a blasting hex that is easy to fire and even easier to fire quickly. So, her thing is, she has high max damage but very low min damage because of the way her powers are. She manipulates The reason why she knows chaos magic is because her mutant power allows her to affect probabilities. Whereas Domino can affect luck, she affects probability. So the probability of her to do lots of damage is higher because she knows chaos magic, which is a very randomized magic, but because of her mutant power, she can make it do its maximum more often, but in this game it's all completely random. So she can do jack squat for damage, or a good bit. Chaos Rift. Burst open a portal to the chaos dimension and unleashes dangerous energies on any standing within the doorway. And if you buff it through chaos, it's basically a damage over time area effect. There's a 10% chance to instantly destroy minor enemies within the cast. And it also puts vulnerability on the enemies, and it lasts for 8 seconds. It's pretty good. And you can stack up to 3 at a time. Yeah, so you can throw down 3 of those, and they can do some good damage. Chaotic Hex. Let loose a hex of chaos energy that always finds a target and has a chance of firing multiple bolts at once. This is kind of like firing. This is basically magic missile. It's homing bolts, and they can fire up between 1 and 5. But the damage is a bit more consistent, and that's actually kind of a fun technique. I'll definitely be using that early on. Chaos Magic. This is her buff. It's a passive thing. After the probability of your combat, alter the probability of your combat with chaos magic. Regenerate health and spirit. Decrease your enemy's attack and speed, and remove all negative afflictions. This is a pretty good thing, and it shows you what buffs it does on its passive effect. What skills are buffed by that. I like buffing chaos magic because it just does critical hit chance and all that. So. Bouncing Hex. Ricochet Hex Bolt from enemy to enemy, striking as many as 6 with one blast. So it can hit between 3 and 6 enemies. It can do between 36 and 7,000 damage. And then there's also a Chaos chance. Each bounce has a 20% chance to create 1 additional Bouncing Hex that deals 50% damage of the previous one. So you can get a lot of damage out there and a lot of these things bouncing around. Hex Sphere, I like this one because you unleash an unstoppable orb of chaos energy that stuns all enemies in its path, fires as many as 3 orbs before needing to recharge your energy, which is where this little bar comes from. Down here, above the thing. Alright, it does some pretty solid damage. I like using it, and it's a stun, so it's pretty cool. You got Beasts from Beyond. Tear open the fabric of reality and unleash ghostly creatures of your own design upon all those within its effect. And you don't ever see any of the creatures. It just kind of opens up the thing and stuff gets torn up in the middle of it. It's meh. Then with Negation Magic, Chaos Shift is your teleportation. Warp to your desired location, creating waves of mental energy that damage enemies in the area as you collapse space around yourself. Winds of Chaos. Hold down the hotkey to let slip the bonds of earth and fly above enemies and obstacles. It's your flight ability. I can't see what that... Okay. Obfuscation? Obfuscation. I can't read. Project a sphere of chaos magic that slows enemies and warps their projectile's path, while also raising your own spirit and defense. It kind of just like a defensive buff. Yeah. Unmake Reality. This is a very good signature. Overflowing with power, you unleash a shockwave of reality-shattering chaos energy that atomizes enemies and stuns bosses. So you stun bosses, but anything lower than a boss rank is instantly killed. And I mean instantly killed. If it doesn't have a boss health bar, it's killed. Chaos Warp. Call forth a surge of reality warping magic that pushes enemies away, damaging and slowing them while protecting you from harm. It's hard to describe this, but it's pretty good. It's kind of her bread and butter attack. And you got Reality Implosion, Collapse, a localized pocket of reality that violently sucks anything nearby together. Ravenous Binding. Turn the tables and regain your health with this spell that leeches off of the life force of your enemies. It's not bad. Then you got Bewitching Hex. Replenish yourself with this hex that damages enemies and restores spirit. I like using this because it restores my spirit. That's mainly why I even have points into that. Iron Maiden. Wrap your enemies' minds in a vice of chaos magic, doling out damage every time they attack. So, meh. Chaos Blast. Strike a single target with this hex that becomes more effective with every disruption power used on the target beforehand. So that can do a lot of good damage. And then you have Dark Hex. Prey on the weakest among your enemies and cast a spell that compounds damage to those already afflicted with negative effects. Bewildering Hex. Cast a spell on your enemies It causes them to mistake friend from foe and battle each other instead of you. So that can be useful, but it's eh. And then no more. Summon all of your rage and power for a violent display of both. Render yourself invincible while you conjure a violent storm of chaos magic that engulfs and damages all nearby enemies, concluding in one massive final explosion. That can do some pretty good stuff. It's pretty good. It's not bad. It's like this, but just more powerful damage, but this kills everything. Alright, so I'm going to make a short video. When we come back, we will start with the leveling. So I'll catch you on the next one, everyone.